Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am filming on a brand new camera today. I have been filming on my phone for as long as I've been filming videos, and I finally got a new camera. So this is my official filming space and my official camera setup. So I just wanted to mention that in case the video looks a little different. I know I switch backgrounds a lot, but I finally got a background that I really love. For today's video, we are going to be talking about Jaclyn Cosmetics, Jaclyn Hill's makeup brand. I am going to be using all the products I have from her, talking about are they worth it, issues with it, what I love about them, things like that, and also just talking about, you know, kind of the culture around Jaclyn Hill, why people are, you know, a little hesitant to try her product sometimes, things like that. So we're just going to dive into Jaclyn Cosmetics, do a full dedicated video to it, and if you're interested, just keep watching. Alright, so for the majority of products, I have most of her face products from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I don't have the little eye, I know she came out with like a little eye shimmer thing. I don't have any of those because most of them are sold out, the colors that I would purchase. So I am going to be just using a Jaclyn Morphe. Ooh, that's a little bright. The volume 2 palette from Morphe, Jaclyn Hill. So I am just going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to prime my eyes with whatever I have. I don't have an eye primer from Jaclyn Cosmetics. Does she make one? I know she makes an under eye primer. But does she make like an eyeshadow primer? I'm not sure. Alright, so I'm not really going to be talking about the eyeshadow. I'm just going to be doing it along with y'all just to show some Jaclyn Hill products to go with the video. But I guess for this portion of the video, I'm really just going to kind of talk about Jaclyn Cosmetics as a whole. So I started watching Jaclyn Hill when I was very young. I pretty much credit my love for makeup and my... Here, let me zoom in a little bit more. You know, like makeup skills that I have to Jaclyn Hill. I wholeheartedly still believe that she taught me everything I know about makeup. And I think a lot of people probably feel like that because back in the day when it was like OG YouTube, Jaclyn Hill was... she was the blueprint, if you will. And over time, you know, makeup tutorials for her have become less common. She's become a businesswoman and a business owner. And I think that's where she got into a little bit of controversy. Before, I think Jaclyn Hill was very loved among people. And I am just going to say, I still do really love Jaclyn Hill. I know a lot of people don't, and I know a lot of people don't want to buy her products or support her, and that's totally fine. I have so many other videos on my channel that I think you guys would love. So go ahead, and if you're not interested in this and like this is not what you signed up for, totally I will not be, my feelings won't be hurt if you skip this video. But I do want to talk about, you know, real things. I don't want to just be like, oh, I love her, leave her alone. So obviously we all know about Jaclyn Cosmetics' launch when they first came out with their lipsticks, and that was a disaster. Basically, if you don't know all the drama, if you don't keep up with YouTube drama, then basically the lipsticks that she came out with had certain things inside of them. Fibers, hair-like substances. I don't know if it was like really confirmed what exactly it was. Some people were claiming they found mold in theirs, all kinds of things. If you want a more detailed video on that, you can go check out Robbie D. Christie's Under the Microscope Jaclyn Cosmetics lipsticks. I'm not sure what it's called, but that is kind of the video that gave a voice to all of those people who were kind of finding things in their lipstick. At the end of the day, all refunds were given back. You could send back the lipstick, or I think you just kept it. I think she didn't want them to be sent back. And she didn't handle it very well at first. I think her response, even though it kind of like sucked that she acted that way, I feel like looking at it, it was sort of a normal response. And here's what I have to say about that. I think a lot of people don't trust Jaclyn Hill, and I think they think that she's all for the money and blah blah blah. And I don't know, if that's your opinion, like that's totally fine. Like obviously I don't know her personally, and I don't none of us really know what's going on at the end of the day. And this is why I think about it. This is why I still purchase from her. This is why I still support her. Because there are so many brands, I should keep doing my makeup live talk. There are so many brands who make crappy products and no one says a thing. You know how many products I've tried out from different brands and I've been like, well, this is the absolute like worst product I've ever tried. And no one's ever like rioting for the brand to shut down, for the person to lose their career, for them to, because most of the time we don't know that brand owners. A lot of times they are just old white men running a company making products for primarily women. That's like primarily the audience, and no one knows anything about them, and that's how they like it. They want to stay hidden, because if something happens, everyone's just like, oh, this product sucked from this brand, but oh well, I'll still continue to use their other products. Like, I feel like the rationale behind the Jaclyn Hill, like no one wanting to use her products, is, in my opinion, a little hypocritical. Just because there are so many brands who do things that, you know, make products that are not good, and never does anyone be like, oh, cancel her, cancel them, cancel this whole brand. Obviously, there have been controversies with other brands in the past. I'm, you know, not saying that there hasn't. A lot of times recently it's been due to shade ranges, and those brands really deserve to be called out. And Jaclyn Hill has suffered, you know, not suffered, but her brand has been one of those brands as well that, you know, they need to do better about their packaging or their shades sometimes. Sorry, I'm all scatterbrained, but basically, just how I feel about it is that beauty brands, beauty guru brands of people here on YouTuber or influencer brands, whatever you want to call it, are held to a ridiculously high standard. And a lot of times people are like, well, you know, the fans built their career and, you know, they are supposed to know everything about makeup. But there are brands out there that are run and owned by makeup artists, legit people who have been doing celebrity makeup for years, and they still mess up. You think everyone loves every single product from Charlotte Tilbury? That's my favorite brand. But there are probably some products that I would try that I wouldn't like, and she's a makeup artist. So are people supposed to be like, oh, well, cancel the brand, she made a bad product? I don't know. That's just what I think about it. But obviously I'm not, if you've had like issues with the brand, with their ethics, things like that, like I said, I'm not saying that you're wrong at all, because this is just my opinion and what I think about it. But I don't know, I think sometimes the beauty brands, and I've seen it with other brands too, they are held a little bit to a different standard simply because you have access to them. You have access to tweet them. You have access to leave comments on their account. And I just wonder how things would be if every company was like that. If every company had a face and had their name on their products, if they would all be treated that way. But anyways, not saying Jaclyn Cosmetics is a perfect brand, and she's definitely not a perfect person. There have been things over the years that I've really disliked about, you know, things that she said. For instance, I don't like that she stays quiet about her political, and not really political views necessarily, but she stays quiet about like issues going on in the world. Things that are, you know, huge, like that are going on, and everyone is acknowledging them because they are so important and such a big issue in the world or the country. And she stays quiet, which probably is a smart PR move at the end of the day, especially for her, because I think she has like a lot of hate comments always. But that's something that I've always had an issue with her, is on certain issues where you would expect a woman like her to speak up, she doesn't. So that's one thing. Okay, I finished my eyes. I didn't do a lot, like that's just what they look like. Let's go ahead and start. My skin's already prepped. I'm going to be starting with the Jaclyn Hill New Skin Perfecting Blurring Tint. I have the shade Fair, but I'm kind of tan. You can kind of tell on my neck that I'm a little, I think I'm gonna turn my lights down a little. I think I'm gonna go in with light. I did see someone saying that these didn't come out like they expected. Like the swatches looked a little darker, which I do think that's true with the concealer I've already tried. So that's light. I think that's gonna work for the self-tan that we have going on. And I'm going to apply this with my fingers because that's how Jaclyn Hill does it, and that's how I applied it the first time that I ever tried it. This product has been getting a lot of different reviews, and mainly I think a lot of people were using it, and even though they knew it was a light coverage, sorry, I'm looking behind me for some reason, even though they knew it was like a light coverage, just like kind of blurring tint, I think people expected way too much out of it. I think people expected that it was going to just perfect your skin in a way. Also, I got a curling iron burn right there, so just try to ignore it. People thought this was going to be like a foundation, even though it's not marketed as one. I'm going to switch over to a brush, I think. So I really like it. This is a product that I can really get down with because I either like to go really, really full coverage or I like to do something more natural and dewy. And I think this looks great. I think it does cover some of my redness. I think I already look, you know, better. I have seen other people say it's not the best with a sponge. And I think on the Jaclyn Cosmetics website, or Jaclyn herself said it in a video, that it's not, like, it's intended to be used with a brush or your fingers, I think. The shade match isn't great. See, I originally bought light to be like my self-tan shade, and I could probably get away with wearing light when I'm not self-tanned at all. So that's a little, I saw a lot of people, like especially people in like the medium skin tone range, saying that they were a little disappointed with their shade because the model online looked like, you know, their skin tone, and then, let's zoom in a little bit more. And then it came and it was a lot lighter than expected. So there are only 12 shades in this collection, by the way. And at first I was going to say that that's not bad for a product like this because it is lighter coverage, but considering they are running lighter considerably, it's a little disappointing, I would say. I need to get this off my hands. It's pretty disappointing when a product, you know, has a limited shade range and then you find out it runs light. I think that's kind of a bummer. But this is how it's looking. I think it looks really good. I don't think it blurs as much as people thought it would. Jaclyn Hill has really good skin. Like, I've always thought that, and I've always known that. So when she's trying a product, I think it's always going to look better on her, any of her products, because she has just flawless skin. She also tans a lot, which I think helps. I don't really tan my face a bunch. Whenever you have like a self-tan or a spray tan on your face, it just makes your skin look a little bit better. So I'm going to go in with the concealer. This is the shade Fair Neutral. I wish I would have gotten a darker one. Again, I got two shades. I got Fairest Pink and then Fair Neutral, because on the website Fairest Neutral did not look as light as it does here. But let's just go in. A lot of people have not been liking this concealer. I've tried it once before just on my own time, and I have some thoughts. I'm gonna blend it out and like show you guys. So I think the main complaint is that it looks really patchy and it clings to dry spots. This is another thing with Jaclyn Hill that it's just like a small qualm I've always had. But since her channel started, she has said that she has dry skin. And her definition of dry skin must be a lot different than mine, because her whole time on YouTube, also this dries down super fast. But her whole time on YouTube, she has used products that if you have dry skin, you would never get away with using. And I just watched her recent video this morning. She posted a makeup video for like the first time in forever. And she was talking about how people say that the concealer dries down fast, but she doesn't think that. And also that like the concealer is like, I don't know, it looked really good on her, but It is pretty dry. I'm gonna try to turn down my lights so you can maybe, yeah. It's not the best. Hopefully the lighting is like okay. It's certainly not my favorite concealer. You can see like in my inner corner that, and then even like over here, like next to my nose, I don't know, I just feel like that's not very pretty. But that's okay, we're gonna keep going. I have some other things. I have one of these under eye powders. This is in the shade Brightening Lilac. This is supposed to be, I've always heard like lavender colors are always really good for fair skin, and it kind of brightens up and makes it not look so gray. Sometimes I feel like my skin looks gray for some reason. So I'm going to take a little bit on a sponge. I'm going to tap some off. And I'm going to apply it. Now, the last time I used this concealer, I did find that if you set it with a powder, even though it's like super dry, setting it with a powder makes it look better. I don't know if it just has to do with her powders, because that's all I've ever used it with, but it kind of blurs and smooths over those dry spots. Okay, you can see I'm like super bright on my under eye. Like, hello brightness. My skin is really having a bad day. And like that, I should have covered it with concealer, but I don't want to put too much product on it because honestly it hurts to touch it. So overall, I would say my face looks pretty dry. The blurring skin tint or whatever, skin perfecting tint, I don't feel like it is as hydrating as it claims. It dries pretty matte. I've only set under my eyes here, and you can see I don't have a lot of natural shine going on. I don't have like this big, not big, but like glassy skin going on, and like when I feel my skin, it feels pretty dry to the touch, and you can kind of see it clings to everything like above my eyebrow. So overall, I think I'm a little disappointed in the new Complexion collection. I do really like this powder though. Like I said, I think it made the under eyes look a lot better than they did. I think it just kind of blurred over those dry spots, which is nice. Let's see, what are we gonna do next? Alright, next I'm gonna go ahead and just throw on a quick contour that you guys don't need to know about, just because it's not her brand. So I'm just gonna take, she did come out with bronzers, I think in a limited edition collection, and the shade range was really bad. Like, no women of color or men of color could get by using that at all, because it was a pretty shisty shade range. Is that a word? I was gonna say something else, but then I was like, no. This is kind of different. I usually don't like talk about things like this, but I feel like I wanted to do a video dedicated to Jaclyn Cosmetics, and I feel like it would just make me look a little silly if I did a video not addressing people's concerns with the brand, because it is just a very controversial brand. Kind of bronze up so I don't look as pale because of the shades. Alright, we're going to move on to blush. Now, I do really love Jaclyn Hill blushes, which I'm going to just keep referring to it as Jaclyn Cosmetics, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, Jaclyn Hill, just because I think a lot of people refer to it as Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. I think that's what it originally was. But, so this is the, what are they called? Cream to powder blush stick. I have the shade Empress. You can see like right here. It's so pretty. Hello. Focus, girl. It won't focus. There we go. I feel like that I'm a legit beauty influencer now. This is the shade Empress. It's like this really hot, hot pink. I love this blush. I've had it since the like Rouge Romance collection came out, and I just think they're so pretty. Yeah, my skin feels dry, like really dry. That's really a bummer. Like I said, I'm a fan of Jaclyn Cosmetics. I'm a fan of Jaclyn Hill. So it's not like I wanted these products to be bad or anything. But unfortunately, like any other brand, like I was saying before, some products just don't hit the mark. Alright, so that's that blush. I even feel like this applied patchy, which usually I feel like this applies really lovely. But I don't know, it could just be me, I guess. Yeah, I feel like this is really hard to blend right now, which usually this product just like glides on for me. I'm gonna go in with a wet beauty sponge just because I feel like I'm looking ugly. I'm gonna spray my beauty sponge a little, and I'm just gonna go over everything. Just because I feel like with those complexion products, I look really dry, and I don't want to just make you think that all of these products are bad just because my skin looks really dry because of the concealer and the product, the blurring product. So just taking that beauty blender with some setting spray on it. This is a luminous setting spray to give me a little bit more life, but not trying to hide anything. I think the complexion products didn't look good. Let's see. So we did that. I'm gonna set that blush with one of the Bougie, it's called the Bougie Rouge collection. It's this. And this one looks like this. This is Rouge Affair. Really, really gorgeous. And I'm gonna take this bubblegum pink right here, Fantasy. And I'm gonna be applying that right over top of the other blush that we just put. I really do. I have both of the palettes from Jaclyn Hill. I'll show you the other one. Hold on. Both of the blush palettes, I think that collection I think was her best collection so far. I think it was one that a lot of people really liked, that they didn't have really issues with, and I think overall the packaging and the marketing. So this is the Rouge Affair. Love that. And then this is Rouge Romance, which is confusing because they're both called the Rouge Romance palettes, but this one is called Rouge Romance. I think that's very confusing. I love them both. I think they both would look good in so many different skin tones. I can use every shade. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. I like to be really blushy. Alrighty. Yeah, I feel like even putting this on, it's just looking, it's looking dull. It's giving dull. Alright, let's go. Next, we're going to set some other areas with the brightening and setting palette. Now mine is in the shade, I'm assuming it's the lightest one. I'm going to take the pink, which is the first one, and mix it with a little bit of this kind of white shade. And I'm going to just stamp it right there just to give me a little extra, not really going under the eyes, but just to clean up the blush a little bit. And I'm also going to take a shade and run it under my contour. Kind of dust that away. So I do really like all the powders from Jaclyn Hill, the Brightening Lilac Under Eye, and then this little palette guy. I do really enjoy. I think they look really nice. I think they even made these products, which I wasn't super impressed with. Both of the complexion products made me look a little dry, and I wouldn't usually think to add powder on top of a dry area, but it actually made it look a little bit better. I think my under eyes look really good as they can. I am going to do a video maybe a get ready with me or something where I'll try the powders over top of like go-to products. I'm gonna go do my brows and finish up my eye makeup, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I just threw on a lip and did my brows and mascara. I know Jaclyn Hill does have some like liquid lipsticks, but I have donated all of mine because I don't really like liquid lipsticks, and I don't know why I got them to begin with, honestly. So we're gonna do highlighter now, and I'm gonna take one of these loose these are the loose highlighters. This is the shade Extra, which I will try to show. There we go. Now the camera wants to work. And I'm going to start and apply that. Now, if there's anything I think Jaclyn Hill does make really nice, it's a highlighter. I think we can all agree in 2016, Champagne Pop was life, even if it didn't complement our skin tone at all. Like me, I was way too pale to be using that. But it is what it is. But still, I think that like created the craze that people had over highlighter. This is a really pretty like champagne color. I really like it. I do have some other products that I didn't use in this video, like the Valentine's Day collection. I just didn't think that was worth it because they are no longer sold. I know the Rouge Romance like collection is still sold, so that's why I'm mentioning it here. But that is pretty much it. Let's kind of review everything we went over. We went over the Skin Perfecting Blurring Tint. Now, the first time I tried this, I thought I did like it. Today, it looked really dry on my skin, so I'm going to keep playing around with it. Maybe it needs a little bit more skin prep, a little bit more like a skincare vibe. So I'm going to keep going with that and see. The concealer, this is my second time trying it. While I do think it gives a really good coverage and I do like the shade for myself, it's way too dry for my liking. So that's a little bit of a bummer considering I got two. The brightening powder, I have the shade, the lilac shade. I think these are excellent. It made the dry concealer look a little bit better, which is kind of strange for a powder, but nevertheless, really good. The Brightening Eye Set collection, I think this is a really good product. And Jaclyn Hill said in her recent video that she thinks these are a little bit underrated, and I would agree. I think they're really nice, and I think if you're into kind of that like highlighting and contour, you want really a sculpted look, I think something like this is really nice. Then we have, oh, the blushes. I really love both blushes. They didn't perform as well as they usually do in my opinion, just because I feel like the base was looking super dry. Like I said, obviously maybe it needs a little bit more skin prep, but I did have my face exfoliated and moisturized before I started. The Jaclyn Hill highlighter, the loose powder, I really love. I think it looks really gorgeous on the skin. And is there anything else I'm missing? And then obviously I used the Morphe palette on my eyes, which I'm a fan of the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palettes. So yeah, that is kind of it. I just wanted to do this video because I feel like Jaclyn Cosmetics is always very talked about for bad reasons, good reasons, things like that. And I wanted to give my little opinion on the brand, test out the products for you so you can really see how they look. I bought all this with my own money. Nothing is biased or anything like that. I don't gain anything from telling you I like these products or dislike them. But yeah, I'm gonna turn down the lights just so you can maybe see the skin a little bit better. I don't know. It might look better on the camera just because of the lights and stuff, but I feel like my skin definitely looked drier than I like. Obviously, the highlighter helped. I think the highlighter is gorgeous, but that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!